Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play The Binding of Isaac. I'm going to be trying another speedrun today, and those have had, I was going to say mixed success, but it hasn't really been mixed success. It's been almost entirely limited success, but we're going to see how well we can do. Normally when I do this I take Judas because the Book of Belial is a pretty good starting upgrade if you're trying to beat the game as fast as possible. However, I'm going to try kind of a different approach, and I'm going to be trying to use Isaac here, and the reason I'm going to be using Isaac is simply because I feel like a speedrun is so item dependent, and much of that item dependency is based on random chance. So, we're going to need good items. We're going to need things that, i.e. not a speed down. We're probably not going to want to run into like a mom's pad or anything like that. So the D6 is going to kind of put things more in our favor. But otherwise, even if this doesn't end up being a very quick run, D6 always makes sure it's going to be an entertaining run. So I'm going to be on the lookout for old standbys here. Brimstone, Mom's Knife, Fetus in a Jar if I could be so lucky. The Bean is not one of those items, and neither is the Poop. That's actually pretty horrible right off the bat. Let's immediately go fight the boss. And we're going to get the Cube of Meat, which is also a pretty horrible upgrade right off the bat. But as I'm going through this fight with Famine, which is going to be kind of arduous considering, normally these fights should be a lot quicker depending on whatever upgrade you get right off the very beginning. For example, this would be a good opportunity for me to mention that normally Judas would have been a much better choice at this point. But I got some administrative stuff to talk about, some exciting administrative stuff, and the big news, in fact the only news really, big news singular, not pluralized, is that I will be doing a co-commentary on The Binding of Isaac with Edmund McMillen. So I'm not sure if it's going to be this week or next week, but I've been talking to him on Skype. I've got the run recorded. I've got good ideas planned. So we're gonna have kind of a co-commentary together, myself and the creator of the game, Edmund McMillen. Obviously, I'm sure most of you are familiar with who he is if you're not already. Also, the co-creator of Meat Boy. Did some work on some other high-profile indie titles like Braid. I will take the Cube of Meat, and then down to the next floor. So yeah, that's going to be pretty cool. I was interested in knowing what you guys wanted me to ask him. I mean, it's not going to be so much of an interview style, because I don't want it to be like, hey, Ed, why don't you come out and we'll do this video together. By the way, I'm going to ask you these questions that probably have not even been answered, to reputable journalists right now. And I'm just some guy on YouTube. But I do want to, discuss whatever the community wants me to discuss. I want to talk a little bit about what he's got planned for the upcoming expansion. Maybe things like how he feels about SOPA, I don't know. We're gonna wing it, and I think that's gonna be half the fun of it. But anyway, if you have any interesting comments, let me know. I'll take a look through them, and if I see something that, I feel is particularly appropriate or relevant, maybe I'll ask him. And again, oh my god, I'm getting murdered here. Don't expect me to remember your username. I'm not trying to be a dick, but again, everybody has such varied usernames, and sometimes these videos get up to 1,000 comments. Everybody's got their own numbers in their name representing, their birth dates or the birth dates of their kids and their lucky numbers, and most of people's names aren't even real words. I mean, Northernlion, what the heck is that? There's no lions in Canada. Unless you're mispronouncing my name. Now, I don't have a single key. Oh, now I do. Where did that come from? Maybe I missed that. Why didn't I go to the item room back there? It's because I was too busy bragging about my Edmund McMillen co-commentary that's going to be coming up eventually. Obviously, I'll title that one in, big, bold, fuck me letters, so you guys know which one to watch out for. You'll know it when you see it, let's put it that way. Thank God we picked up 2 spirit hearts there, and another chest, which contains a bomb and a key. This should allow us to go to the item room, and, this speed run is quickly devolving into a run that's not so speedy, because I haven't gotten very good items right off the bat here. Bad gas is not going to help that too much. We will backtrack to the item room. But first, I want to fight this boss, because I have my D6 all primed and ready. It's just going to be a little Larry Jr. Not too concerned about that. Now, if I was more ballsy, I could get hit by Larry Jr. 50 times, like I did right there. I could rationalize that and say I meant to do it. What I was actually going to say is if I get close to him without getting hit, what might happen is that my Cube of Meat will do a couple of passes and pretty much just murk him right off the bat. I think. I don't know. I've never had the brass nuts required to test it. But instead, we'll do things the old-fashioned way here on Larry Jr. Oh my god, oh lord, Larry Jr., you're kind of destroying me right here. Good thing about Larry Jr., of course, is that when he dies, he'll give me a non-specific upgrade. So it could be a passive, like a damage up. In fact, that would probably be the most valuable right now. Despite the damage I'm taking, I would much prefer a damage up to an HP upgrade right now. Where is it? There we go. And let's see what we got. Range up. We'll reroll that, obviously. Tears up. That's a little bit better. Deal with the devil. I did not expect that, considering how much damage I've taken. Oh, man. Let's go with the pact. Kind of thought that might kill me. This is going to give us damage up as well as some other stat upgrades. But the damage up is obviously the primary factor there. And now we got a lot of spirit hearts, so I got to be careful. We are at like 5 minutes already, which is really not good for a speedrun. I was hoping that was the secret room, and we'll get the shovel. Well, that's one way to speed things up, I suppose. We'll also go to the item room. And we'll take the rosary, that's good. You know what, oh, I have to walk all the way back. What I could do here is just use my shovel immediately, but instead, what I'm going to do is go down to the caves part 1, and then use my shovel immediately. And hope that we come across some really, really good item down there. I'm going to try to speed things up. I don't normally use the shovel for the specific reason, or the simple reason, which should be pretty obvious, and that's basically that you won't be as overpowered when you use the shovel, because you're skipping a whole floor of boss upgrades and item rooms and whatnot. And I tended to think of the shovel as kind of like a defensive skill, as like, oh man, I cannot survive here in the womb, might as well skip one of the floors and increase my chances of winning. Not an offensive skill like, you know, well, I guess it is still not an offensive skill, like I'm going to improve my build at any point. But what it does do is it allows us to skip a floor, and if we could get a battery, then we can skip a lot of floors, but we cannot skip shoals, so we definitely need to get powerful enough to at least defeat the devil, and I'm not sure we're there yet. I mean, we are doing pretty well with our tiers here, though. And we have a lot of spirit hearts. We're going to be dealing with gluttony. I always forget what gluttony can drop. I'm not sure if you can ever drop... how did I get hit by the residual there? I'm not sure if you can ever drop full passive upgrades, but we'll see. No, he usually just drops health, I think. Hermit takes us back to the spawn room. Oh, it takes us to the shop, my bad. Chocolate milk would be an awesome pickup for 15 cents, and that's an item that we don't see that often anymore. I would love to pick that up. Of course, I'm also going to be on the lookout for a brimstone. That's kind of my bread and butter when it comes to these games, or a mom's knife, just something to speed things up. But a fetus in a jar would be interesting as well, because obviously, you know, that the biggest danger when you have fetus in a jar are flies and yourself, and that's basically it. I'm going to use a bomb and a key to check out this chest. Yeah, that's pretty much what I was hoping for, is a lot of money out of that. If I can get 5 more cents, we can get chocolate milk. And maybe, you know, start to get this run off the ground. I'm not so much worried about a speed run anymore, because really I would have hoped to get a brimstone in that first deal with the devil room. But we can still have a good run, let's put it that way. The difference between a quote-unquote speed run and a normal run are so small at this point, like... even a normal run at this point for me only goes about half an hour. What would I expect to get out of a speed run? Maybe under 20 minutes? Oh man, this is bad. But that's tough. I got really lucky that Eyeless Ooze guys decided to go over the top. If you guys haven't seen, if you're not following me on Twitter, somebody sent me a Twitter message, which was the Binding of Isaac credits, which obviously has the names for all the enemies, but they've renamed them to what I call them. I thought it was really hilarious, and I apologize if the gentleman is listening right here, or the gentle lady, I don't know. Twitter is asexual like that, because I've forgotten your name, but go check out my Twitter because I've retweeted it, and it is hilarious. And actually, I'll retweet it again after I upload this video. Just remind me in the comments, so you guys can all see that. And it is hilarious. Like everything, I don't even know the names, like the real names of the enemies. So to see things like, you know, Grandfather Fly, Human Popcorn, kind of humorous. Tickled my funny bone a little bit. I definitely appreciated it. Let's put it that way. Now I will take out these guys. I briefly considered using my shovel. But I want to stick it out on this floor, the hope being that maybe we can pick up a scent at some point, and also maybe get, you know, oh, you know what? Screw Gertie. See you later, Gerds. That was going to take us like 5 minutes. Now my hope is that we'll get an easy boss here, and actually an easy floor, which is obviously not the case on this first room, but maybe we'll get lucky and take out some of these leapers anyway. And then get a deal with the devil immediately on the boss, hopefully get a brimstone. Basically, that's what I'm thinking of right now. Tears up, again, is pretty good. This is going to increase our rate of fire, probably to maximum. We're also going to shoot some tears at the back of our head, which is not that useful. Kind of similar to a Loki's horn. The reason is because you can't really plan for it. I mean, what am I going to do? Like, directly put myself in between 2 zombies to try to make use of that? Pretty much useless on that front, but I'll take the tears up anyway. I mean, it's a nice touch. I might save my ass by accident a couple times. Oh, gotta watch out for this vaginal silkworm. See, that's where a brimstone or a mom's knife would have been so valuable. Oh, don't like this room. If I had more bombs, I would love to just bomb my way out of this room, but the problem with that is that you never know. We might actually end up coming back here if the boss room or the item room is not in this direction. And of course, well, we've already been to the item room, but ideal circumstance, this room drops a penny, shops adjacent to the next room, and then immediately we fight the boss. Hey, Spirit Heart, that's alright too. This is actually not where we want to be. We did get that penny, though. You know, let's just get out of here. It's a waste of a valuable bomb, essentially, but it is going to save me some time, because that room was going to be a pain in the ass. We're already on the Depths Part 1 in 10 minutes, which is not so bad, but the problem, and this is a very pressing problem, is that my build is not very good. Normally, you know, 10 minutes into the Depths Part 1, I would say, that's awesome. That's, like, actually fantastic. You got no chance of losing. Well, we do have a chance of losing here, because normally I would have a Brimstone or a Mom's Knife or a Fetus in a Jar, or something, or just with a ton of damage upgrades, like a Pentagram and the Pact and the Deal, all rolled into one. We haven't even gotten any HP upgrades, so we're playing with fire right now, but usually those are the most interesting runs as well. So the shop has to be up here somewhere. I hate these guys. And I call them these guys. I've mentioned that homemade credits thing with you know, my unofficial names for these enemies. These guys had no name, it just had a bunch of question marks, because I'm pretty sure I always just call them douchebag assholes. And maybe if they do a reprisal of that arc, that's the name that it will receive. Bad gas, not a great pill. I could immediately go down to the next floor, but at some point I have to kind of bite the bullet. Where'd you go? Oh my god, that was freaky, man. At some point I have to bite the bullet and actually, like, hang out and pick up some upgrades. Might as well be here because, you know, pretty soon we're going to be down in the womb. I could actually skip all of the Depths Part 2. And I may end up doing that. We'll see how things go, basically. If it's going to be a speedrun, I might as well embrace it and use the shovel fairly often. I haven't used it as much as I could have, but oh well. Like I said, got to get some upgrades soon. And the only way I'm ever going to beat the devil, because again, I can't just shovel past the devil, is if I get something like a Brimstone or a Mom's Knife, or even a Chocolate Milk on the last floor would have done it, but I bunged that up by not actually... Oh my god, bad gas. Poison and death. I just lost like 3 Spirit Hearts on this room. Should have shoveled. So we will take out the zombie there, get a little bit more money, more hearts that I can't use. Book of Revelations would be fantastic as well, but then I'd have to lose my shovel, wouldn't I? One leaper is not so bad, even though he just pretty much wrecked me. I was thinking that maybe I could take out the hoppers first and then just dance around that leaper. No greed. Alright, down to the next floor then. The reason I do that, and I know I'm being very hypocritical, trust me. The reason that... Oh my god, I'm taking terrible amounts of damage here. That's kind of what you get when you skip past as much of the game as I skip past. The reason I skip past greed is because I was like, okay, we're not going to get a shop on this floor. I've got 17 cents, might as well save it, we'll get a shop on the next floor. And then maybe we can skip by Mom, depending on what kind of upgrades we get from that shop. Shop's taking too long to kill, probably should have used an extra bomb on him. Oh, don't like this at all. I guess we will save or use this key on the item room, because I don't even know if I'm going to run into the shop this time. And of course, you never know, it could still have greed in it. Dude has a nasty history of showing up uninvited. Would love to murder one of these bodiless heads here. Oh, I got lucky to dodge that. I'll take out these headless bodies. Another bad gas pill. God forbid I get a full health or an HP up pill or something. 10 extra bombs. That's pretty awesome, actually. Hopefully we're on our way to the boss. I'd really... Or more hopefully we're on our way to the shop, because I really don't want to have to... I can't believe that didn't open in the door. I'm in a bad position. At this point, I'd bomb my way out, but I might as well kill these guys because they're easy enough to take out. Maybe they'll drop something useful like a Spirit Heart. I really want to get to the boss, but more so, I want to get to the shop. Oh, come on. The reason I want to get to the shop, obviously, I want to get a key before that, but the reason I want to get to the shop is because otherwise these 17 cents are going to go like completely unused. Alright, Fistula room. I got at least a poison in, but it still sucks because this room's going to take me a while. Oh, yeah, it's gonna be tight here. Now, what my ideal speedrun? Some people have asked, like in these speedrun videos, what items would I want to have to give me the best chance of getting like a perfect speedrun? Probably the best thing that could happen is getting. It's hard to say because I've backflip or flip-flop between these 3 different items. I would probably say that Brimstone is the best thing. Get Brimstone in the first deal with the Devil Room on the Basement Part 2, and have picked up the shovel at some point before that. So let's say you get the shovel miraculously on Basement Part 1, immediately shovel down to Basement Part 2, and then take no damage, fight the boss, get Brimstone, and then just shovel as much as you can. Because once you get Brimstone, you really don't need that much more. Beyond that, you would obviously want to get a battery if we're talking about, like, #1 max possibility speedrun. I think you could probably do a game in about 15 minutes if you had Brimstone, shovel, and battery. And you used your shovel as much as possible, which I am not doing here. But for me, I would be happy to get a run under like 20 minutes. I think I've had some in the 25-minute range. But, you know, that's the difference between my speed runs and my average runs are not that much anymore. My average run is probably like 35 minutes. And my speed runs, quote unquote, whenever they're successful, are like half an hour. So I'm only cutting 5 minutes off my time. And the reason for that is because it is so item dependent. I don't want anything to do with this room. I would love to bomb my way out and never have to come back in here. So that's exactly what I'm going to try. I'd much rather deal with this room. This is kind of a pleasant room, actually. Just these 4 guts that follow very preconceived patterns. I've still been hit on this room, but, you know, what rooms haven't I been hit on at this point in my Isaac life? This is another okay room, because it's easy to predict. The thing that makes Leapers difficult is not that they do a lot of damage, or, you know, that they're super fast, although they are kind of fast. The thing that makes them difficult is that they do have a pattern, but it's very difficult to kind of predict that pattern, especially when there's a lot of them on the screen. This is a terrible item room for us to be getting. I'm banking on that. I was hoping that would be something other than Wheel of Fortune, but, you know, that could come in handy at some point. I just don't want to waste the time doing the spinning for it. So at this point, you know, why not just go for broke? We'll head down to the next floor and see how we do. We're essentially going to skirt conflict as much as possible. Can't do anything about that chest. This is a good opportunity to maybe blow this up and pick up more bombs. Good diagonal walking so far in this video, I gotta say. We can just murder these guys. We gotta go through 6 rooms before we can use the shovel. I mean, best case scenario, I suppose, is that somehow we pick up a damage upgrade, maybe in a secret room that I discovered by accident. Pretty unlikely, though, and I just shovel my way past every other enemy. The other thing that could happen is we could get a Judgment. Judgment could give us a battery, and we'll just dig our way to the bottom, and then, you know, I'm pretty much on my own in that fight against Satan. We could also get good tarot cards. Emperor would be fantastic. Hermit, not so good. Takes us to the shop. There is no shop, so where does this take us? I think it's just like a telepills. Which, you know, I don't know which direction I'm going, so that could be good, could be bad, I won't know, because I don't have a map or a compass. That's the other thing that would make a speedrun excellent. If you don't get a shovel, map and a compass. Might even be better, honestly, because shovel takes 6 rooms to recharge. You could probably get to the boss in under 6 rooms. Of course, this is all nullified if you have a battery. Now, I only have 1 heart, so I can only be hit 1 more time. I'm going to try to not let that happen, but, you know, stranger things have happened than me getting hit once in the womb. I don't think this is going to go well. Use a bomb to get a bomb. Oh, this is bad. Yeah, that'll do it. Alright, well, thank you guys for watching this attempt at a speedrun. Not my best work post-mortem on this. I don't know. Don't get such bad items. Don't skip so much. Sometimes it might be better to put in longer floors on the early game, so that you get a lot of advantages and not skip so many floors in the mid-game. But anyway, as always, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. I hope you're looking forward to that co-commentary with Ed McMillen. See you later.